School dress code, pro and anti-uniform perspectives. Introduction. Various stakeholders have taken different stances in the ongoing debate regarding school uniforms and uniform policies. Wendell Anderson, in his article School Dress Standards and Uniform Regulations, presents his views on this matter. Published in the Journal of School Health in 1994, Anderson argues that school uniforms help reduce student distractions by removing the emphasis on fashion. According to him, by focusing on learning rather than fashion, students can develop a sense of belonging, which leads to improved academic performance. On the other hand, Samantha Deane offers an alternative perspective in her 2003 article, Dressing Diversity, published in the Journal of Educational Thought. Deane argues that school uniforms create a limitation on freedom and individuality. As a compromise, this paper proposes implementing inclusive uniform policies that allow for personal expression while fostering a sense of community among the students. Pro-uniform. Several arguments support uniforms in schools. According to Wendell Anderson's essay on school dress codes and uniform regulations, wearing a school uniform is a visible means to instill in children the sense of order required in both classroom settings and society. Despite finally resolving specific disagreements, the opinions represent both sides. Not all viewpoints accept the concept that school uniforms are restrictive. They contend that having a required school uniform disadvantages parents who cannot afford it because of its high initial cost. According to the report, a downside of wearing a uniform is that it makes all children appear alike. Although school uniforms have a downside, the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. The study results indicate that enforcing a dress code policy for uniforms can improve academic performance. This may be because when students wear uniforms, they often feel more secure and less vulnerable to violence. Therefore, it will inevitably result in greater performance as the dress code represents success, as shown in both offices and schools. Others who agree with the position see uniforms as a panacea for educational problems. The conclusions mentioned in the essay are thus merely the opinions of professionals in educational policies. The research aims to determine whether a rigorous dress code efficiently addresses issues like school violence. In general, Anderson's notion that politicians should support uniform dress code laws is supported by various stakeholders who concur that uniforms serve a crucial function. Anti-uniform. Samantha Deane's piece on the school clothing code offers a contrasting perspective on school uniforms. According to the article, school uniforms prevent children from becoming diverse. The author's key claim is that schools are where kids should be exposed to diversity and other kids' differences. In it, Deane claims that kids who wear the same clothes won't be able to confront others' differences and humanity. Schools should teach children about social justice and healthy relationships, which may be learned through studying how individuals express their differences. Deane's views essentially push the educational system to place a priority on how to help children explore their diversity. The dynamic that makes school democratic only works when children are trusted with difference, diversity, and strangeness. Deane disagrees with the legislators who have advocated for school uniform regulations because the author believes their position has no merit. Therefore, uniform policies do not address disruptive behaviors. It shows that uniforms do not help to promote discipline among students. Both sides of the argument. Anderson and Deane continue to hold opposing views in their articles on policymaking and homogeneity. Anderson sees school uniforms as a way to maintain discipline. On the other hand, Deane believes that uniforms threaten diversity and prevent kids from having alternative viewpoints. According to Anderson, schools are places where kids can learn morality and discipline. In contrast, Deane thinks schools should teach kids about diversity and human differences. Hence, students should only be allowed to wear uniforms that don't show how different they are from one another. There is no denying that the two authors view schools as where students learn about and are taught the principles and values necessary to coexist peacefully in society. Both articles highlight the value of education in helping youngsters develop into respectable individuals who can function in society. This highlights the need to teach kids about both academic subjects and social issues. Conclusion. In conclusion, promoting inclusive school uniform policies is a sound strategy for creating a safe and conducive learning environment for students. While some may argue that uniform policies are limiting, research has shown that they can reduce bullying, promote unity and equality, and allow students to focus on their education without the distractions of fashion or socioeconomic differences. Inclusive school uniform policies can improve academic performance by reducing students' concerns about their clothing. Reflection. The Rogerian paradigm of argumentation places a strong emphasis on comprehending and honoring opposing viewpoints. It enables us to see the truth in opposing ideas and look for common ground instead of just arguing for our point of view. By pushing us to consider competing ideas and identify grounds for agreement, the Rogerian approach might help us acquire insight into our persuasive writing. The Rogerian approach helps improve our persuasive writing skills and develop our ability to understand and empathize with others. Addressing potential counterarguments and providing a more complex view of the problem can allow us to improve our arguments.